I'm 25, I'm a grown man, like I'm an established player. Yeah. I'm not that kid in the academy anymore that can't tell them like, oh, this is actually my name.
Have you not got knocked out, what, quarters? Top 16, I think it was.
That's not bad.
And they cheated. Jeremy was crying. He's crying.
But listen, so we stand either end of the garden and like run at each other. He scored 30 out of 30. I didn't tackle him once. But I scored 3 out of 30 and I was gassed.
Who wins in a fight now between you and your brother?
I'll box him. I'll box you both at the same time.
Before we started, we were just talking about sort of obviously the Nigerian side of your heritage. Obviously half Nigerian, half Scottish?
British.
I'm going to say British.
We're claiming Scotland for the...
Half Nigerian. Listen, there's a bit of Danish in there. There's a bit of, I'm a fruit salad.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
Obviously, you added the hyphen to your surname this year. Let's talk a little bit about, firstly, you getting to know your Nigerian side, getting close to that journey that was like.
Yeah, so that's always been there. Like growing up, I'd say I don't know what a typical mixed race household was like, but mine was, I guess, culturally was that. I went to private schools and I'd go there and we'd have bangers and mash, and then I'd come home and eat jollof rice. So, I think compared to a lot of my friends growing up, it was probably very different. So like my Nigerian side's always been there. I think this year it just came about. I'd had a conversation and I kind of recognized there was no reason my name wasn't Onyeama-Christie. It disappeared through having names on the back of our shirts as kids, them not being able to fit the whole name on it, having to trim it down. So I was like, Andy Christie, he's fine. Like, have Christie, that's fine. Then you kind of go through academies and then you're just known as Andy Christie. And that kind of was how it grew. And I got to this point where I was like, I'm 25, I'm a grown man, like I'm an established player. Yeah. I'm not that kid in the academy anymore that can't tell them like, oh, this is actually my name. So it wasn't like anything. I think people, because I guess it's happened in football and stuff, and people have like made things of, he's not taking his name, or like someone has just their first name on the back and it's kind of a thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It wasn't anything like that for me. It was just, it just kind of coincidentally had happened, and then I'd never really bothered enough to change it back. It wasn't really something that was at the forefront of my mind. But I think as you kind of, certainly for me, as I've grown, I've played in bigger games, I've been a more established rugby player, I realised actually how important it is and how much I do want to represent that side of my identity. Kind of adding to that, so obviously being Nigerian as well and knowing how African men are, so was it a problem, I guess, for your dad's side of the family that it wasn't on the back of your jersey? No, my dad doesn't concern himself. He's not. He wasn't too bothered. Like, my dad's super proud of me. And again, like my parents are married, so my name's always been Onyeama-Christie. And he's not too concerned. I think my grandma only watched her first game of rugby in like the last few months or last year or whatever, and she hated it. And my auntie, again, my dad's sister, can't watch it. And I'm glad they haven't been watching me play in the last couple of years, because there's been a lot of hurt. So
we'll come on to those. Sure.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, you're a Harrow boy from Bristol as well. Tell us a little bit about that. What it was like growing up in Bristol, coming down to Harrow, enjoying London life. Yeah,
Bristol. I love Bristol. My mum still lives there. It's kind of that's my city. I got the opportunity to go to Harrow, which again was life-changing for me. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done that. I was in Bristol Academy. They didn't particularly rate me at the time, playing prop.
Playing prop,
yeah. Even in Saracens Junior Academy, I played
fat
prop.
Kid?
Loose or tight?
Both, bro. I played both sides. Yeah, I know. A rare breed. Yeah. I'll be making a lot more money if I can still do that. Trust me. So I got the opportunity to go to Harrow, and honestly, I'm so happy I did that. And obviously, then the progression into Saracens.
Awesome. So what age did you go to Harrow?
So I went at 16. So lower 6. So only did 2 years there.
Nice.
And what was Harrow like? Because I've spoken to people who have gone into the Harrow system, and they've just said it's like been incredible for their development as rugby players.
Yeah, it's just like, it felt like I felt like I was a bit of a big fish in a small pond at my old school, and that's not to be disrespectful to that school. Like Bristol Grammar School is an amazing school, and it did everything possible for me. But I think at kind of such a crucial age in terms of developing as a person and certainly as a rugby player, to change my environment and to kind of challenge myself with people and against people who were, doing things at a high level in all aspects of life, really. Like it really helped me, I think, change as a person, mature, grow up, boarding, being away from home. I was at a school that I'd been at since I was like 8, 9, 10. And yeah, you kind of learn how teachers tick, you learn what you can get away with. And I got to a point where like I wouldn't do homework and be like, oh no, I left it at home. And I just got away with everything. And then I went to this school that you don't have that excuse. You're kind of on your own, and yeah, they don't allow a lot of things. So really, in terms of like rugby side as well, having Saracens coaches coming in to the school to come and train a select few of us was great for me too. And yeah, I found my friendship group. We got real tight, and 3 guys that were my best friends at school, Sean, Ruben and Elliot, we all got contracts together at Surrey. So yeah, we definitely helped push each other on as well.
And would you say was the team strong team when you joined?
Yeah, in my upper 6th year, we only lost 1 game by 1 point to Wellington College, which it still kind of keeps me up at night a little bit.
Does Harrow participate in the Daily World Cup?
Yeah, I think they won it last year, I think.
Wait, so you guys won it when you guys were?
Nah, we didn't. It wasn't really a thing then. It was more like a ranking. So we ended up being like 3rd ranked. Okay. In the country behind Wellington, I think maybe Sedbergh or something. But we were good.
Do you remember where we finished in the World Cup that year?
We got knocked out, quarters? Top 16, I think it was.
That's not bad.
And they cheated. It's not about us. They cheated. It was a Northampton boys' school. And they cheated because we played away at their ground. Yeah. And they said someone stepped out of bounds or stepped out of touch.
What they had their own touch judges.
Yeah, bro, horrible.
Yeah, that's it.
Jeremy was crying. He's crying.
Was that crying? Listen, I cried when we lost Wellington. Don't worry. When we lost to Wellington, we lost in the final of Roslyn Park as well. Oh. Yeah, which again we had no right to lose that. We because they do the replay at Twickenham, and we won 38-0. So on the day we just didn't get it done, man. But
also, you're one of 3 brothers as well, right?
Yeah.
How was that growing up?
It's good, like super competitive. Not anymore. They don't play anymore. But it was super competitive. We used to have a tally, me and my older brother, in the kitchen. They were like who had scored the most tries for the season. Okay. Because we were both playing like Saturday, Sunday. So we played school, then club, and like county and whatever. And I remember my last game of the season, we were both like tied on like 52 tries for the season. And I remember at half time, my school coach coming up to me like, your brother's just scored for the first team.
That's
I was like,
mad.
And like he hadn't, he was trying to like spur me on. He's like, he's trying to get in my head. And I actually didn't score that game, and I like literally finished, and we won, and I was like devastated, thinking like, oh man, I've lost him. And then it turned out he hadn't either, and we just ended up level. But yeah, we were really competitive. We used to play all sports in the garden. We'd play full contact rugby, me and my younger brother against my older brother. I remember my older brother and me once doing the 30 one-on-ones run it straights consecutively. Yeah, I didn't tackle him.
Break that down. What is that?
All right, so we stand either end of the garden and like run at each other. And so like he's trying to score past me, I'm trying to score past him. And so we did 30, took it in turns. And he scored 30 out of 30. I didn't tackle him once, but I scored 3 out of 30, and I was gassed. Yeah, bro. Honestly, I was like, I walked in like head held high, like, and he was like a bit gutted with himself.
So what age did you feel like? Who wins in a fight now between you and your brother?
I'll box him.
You box him. So what age? So who's tall? Okay,
I'll box them both at the same time. I'll box you both at the same time.
Who's taller? Who's tall? So are you the tallest?
No, my youngest brother's the tallest.
Okay, cool.
And my oldest brother's the shortest and stockiest.
So at what age did you you saw your older brother you're like, listen, don't try it with me. You get this work, don't try it. What age did that happen?
I don't know, because like we developed, like when I was young, I hated him. Like I feel like that's quite common with
I did my brother.
Yeah, but then like we'd fight a lot, and I was probably a pain in the ass. Like he hated me, but I think when I went to Harrow and he went to uni, and so I think around then like we kind of started to become boys. I don't know, because he could probably bench more than me. But I think probably when I was around 20, I'd be like, right, once I played like Prem, I'd probably be like, yeah, you know what, I've dealt with people bigger than you. Yeah, so probably about then, like when I started playing like professional rugby, I'd be like, yeah, I've dealt with people bigger than you. Like, yeah.
So what other sports were you playing at school?
I was actually I was a really good hockey player.
Oh,
weirdly, yeah.
You're a posh boy.
I didn't want to say it, but
do you know it's
Starting Bristol.
Yeah. So me and my older brother, like we're both goalkeepers, and he was in the first team, and I became the first team goalkeeper in year 10. So I took his spot off him.
Mad.
And like he was kind of happy, but neither one of us really wanted to play hockey. We were just quite good. And like we're both quite big, and big and dynamic, which I guess is good for a goalkeeper. But I never particularly liked the sport. It was kind of just pushed on me because the school played it. I was all right at football. I was quite good at cricket. Like we just played everything. Mum just wanted to get us out of the house as much as possible. So, and we have like the playing fields were from the school are just down the road from my house. So yeah, any kind of activity would be on it.
Yeah. And obviously you said your mum wanted to get you out of your house. Like, what role did your dad play in the whole, you growing up?
Well, again, he was super sporty. So he played rugby, played for London Nigerians. So he was like, both of them were like equally his influence is more through the fact that he did it. And we used to play football with him on like Tuesday nights. So I remember I have great memories. We'd go to like a 5-a-side or 7-a-side and play with him and like a few guys from kind of around the way. From like a young age would be doing that.
So did he ever put any pressure on you to play rugby at all?
No, neither one of my parents ever pressured us.
Okay.
And honestly, I think I find how often that occurs with people that make it professionally. They're like, oh yeah, my parents just let me find a love for it myself. Because I know kids that I grew up with whose parents were like so pushy, being like the coach's ears, like for academy stuff, would be on to them to do like extra fitness at like 14 years old. And by the time they hit 16, 17, they're burnt out and they don't want to play anymore. And they find parties and they find girls and they find drinking, and then that's it.
I feel like I even look back to when we were at school, and like particular dads I remember who were just like on the sidelines screaming, their sons trying to get them to like just master rugby at the age of 12.
Get me.
I'm like, my parents literally didn't care at all whether Mara played or I played.
As long as just come back safe.
Yeah.
Injuries,
they're trying to live through. Honestly, I feel like they're trying to live through their kids. Yeah. And like they're trying to get their kids to achieve a dream that they didn't achieve. And even with like I talk to guys that I play with now, and I'm like, oh, would you make your kids play rugby? Or even the ones with kids, like, are you going to make them play rugby? No. Once you've played and you've been through some shit, and like once you've hurt yourself a few times, like, hey, I'm not making anyone do that.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a hard way to make a living.
It is, bro. Like
I remember I went to I did that Portugal camp with
the campus
and Rotti at the campus. And Aston Villa were there at the same time actually, and Vincent Kompany was manager at the time. And the work that Under Armour was putting these guys through.
Burnley Football Club.
Burnley, not Villa. Burnley. Like from doing that every day over the summer to get ready, and then add contacts to that. That's a hard way to make.
But that was an off-season camp. So you're doing that. They're doing that to be ready for pre-season, to be ready for the season.
Right.
Like that's the most chill environment you can be in is off-season camp.
There you go. Yeah. I still thought.
You see what I'm saying?
It's nuts.
Like my younger brother was a good rugby player, and London Irish. He was in London Irish Academy, and so they spoke to him about kind of contracts and like, oh, would it be something you'd be interested in? And he was like, no. It was like, I don't want to do the fitness and I don't want to do the early mornings. And he told me that, and I was like, to be honest, if there's 2 reasons to not play rugby, besides injuries, like early mornings of fitness, like I get it. You know, like he went to uni instead, and I was like, because he'd seen me in the senior academy, you know, waking up at 10 to 7 to be in the gym for 7:45, like doing fitness every Monday. After sessions, you've got Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, you're going to a loan club, and you know, I was at Bishop Stortford and things like that, and like great clubs and stuff. But it's not what you envisage as a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old saying like, I want to be a rugby player. You're not thinking of waking up early, doing fitness, going on loan, you know, in the terrible weather when you can't really be bothered. That's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about like, I want to play international rugby, I want to play Premiership rugby. But like, that's not the reality for a while.
I'm a different type of rock star. I got class and I got Henny overflowing up my shot glass.